He was very deflated on Saturday. Do you feel as though your guys have regrouped, refocused, and gotten the edge back?
I think so, Wags. I mean, it was. I mean, obviously it was a devastating loss, but this is what I told our team: we still got a chance to win 10 games, first time ever, back-to-back 10 winning seasons, and with a chance to win another one. Obviously, a chance to beat your rival. So we didn't have any time to feel sorry for ourselves. We had to press forward.
Mm-hmm. So obviously, some of the idiot media, like myself, not me, but other people in the press box.
You're not an idiot.
No, not the learned and very professional media,
knowledgeable.
but some other people were saying if Army can't beat Navy this year with their quarterback out and haven't played this game beforehand, this perfect storm confluence of events, if Army can't beat Navy this year, when will they beat them? I imagine, I asked this to Munkin and he went phooey, and I imagine you as a head coach don't put any stock in all of this outside noise.
Well, they're a good team. First time going to a bowl game in a long time, so Monk's done a really good job. But it's true. I mean, we do have a ton of guys hurt. We just got to find a way to rally, though. I mean, it is what it is. You lose some really good players. Will was having an astronomical year. So was Tonio. You lose Bonner, who's been playing phenomenal. Tyler Carmona's, been our best blocking wide receiver. But the rest of the guys will show up. And that's kind of what this place is about.
Well, that's what I was saying. One of the things that's been very impressive about Navy football for many years, and again this year, is that this team, this program bounces back. Whenever you've lost, almost invariably, and it's an amazing percentage how often you've won the next week. This year alone, Air Force, then Houston, South Florida, then Notre Dame. And that's been the case for several years. Is that something you take pride in?
And I hope that happens again. I hope that trend continues. It's going to be easier said than done, but they're resilient kids here. As you know, you go through a lot here. School's tough, academics are tough. The military's hard, so you become pretty resilient when you're here, and it's just kind of your makeup, the character that you build when you come to the school.
Now, we know who's out for sure, but you already alluded to two guys who were kind of on the questionable list. Do you not feel that Daryl Bonner and Carmona will be able to go, or is that still in?
No, they're out.
They're out.
They're both out.
What about some of the other guys? Josiah Powell, any chance he'll make it back?
Doubtful right now, but there's still a possibility, and Daishin will be back.
Right. And then what about Merchant played last week, right?
Yeah, and no, and he's got a chance to play this week.
He dressed last week, right, but he did not end up playing. Right, but he has a chance this week. Right, and so there's a chance. And what about Hudson Sullivan was another guy that didn't play last week?
Probably he practiced today. Looked decent, but he should be able to go this week.
Okay, and so are you still as excited as you've ever been for Army Navy? I know you love this game.
I mean, it never changes, Wags. I mean, your desire to beat them, their desire to beat us. It's the biggest game of the year for us. The excitement around this game is always pretty strong, and I mean, we want to beat those guys in the worst way, and our guys are working really hard right now to try to do that.
And last but not least, Zach Gaby, you've gotten a chance to see him in practice for a couple of days. Does the kid look confident out on the practice field?
I thought he had a really good practice today. Really encouraged leaving today. I thought he had a really good practice today.
All right, thank you. Niumatalolo's doing to have you play on the kickoff return is, in my mind, pretty special. What is your thoughts?
I mean, it's like the next man up. That's our mantra, and whoever's time it is to step up. I believe there were lots of guys who, could have been able to do this, but they trusted me with this job. So I'm going to do it to the best of my ability.
Pretty cool for you to make your collegiate debut against Army?
It's very cool. I'm excited. I'm pumped for all the guys, and we get one more day to get focused up. Perfect Thursdays, and we'll be ready.
You knew your dad had a very dangerous job. This is probably something that he himself knew could happen, God forbid. But just your thoughts on what exactly went down, and how are you handling it?
I'm pretty distracted right now with academics and just football. There's a lot of things getting thrown out, but right now I'm putting my emotions over to the side and getting the job done. That's how he brought me up. Never to freak out and say you're a Carothers, and Carothers never quit. Mm-hmm. So I got to keep moving forward, and with a lot of support and love from family and friends, and I'm able to keep moving forward, keep my head on straight. And it's definitely hard, and it's still not sitting amazing. It's not okay with me, but we're getting through it. I'll be okay.
I'm guessing you went home for a week or so after the event. Did you, when you got back, was it in a way a good thing to get back into a routine, get back here with your brothers with football? Imagine that would be a way to help you
Yes,
get
sir.
through this.
Yes, sir. It was great seeing all the guys and being back with them, and seeing all the smiles and everybody's love and hugs. I'm a big hugger, so but I wasn't ready necessarily to leave my family, and I want to go back during Christmas and spend as much time with them as possible. But right now, my mind's got to be here and to help out this team, and that's where my mind is right now.
Last but not least, it sounds as though it was just very random that you got issued the jersey 50. In a way, it was what was available, but as it turns out, that had meaning to your family. Do you think there's a omen there of sorts?
I'm not a big believer in omens, but if you do, then yeah, I guess so. But it just worked out that way, and I think it's really cool. I mean, I just learned, I just learned that he was 50 in high school, and it's pretty special to me. So I'm gonna honor him. I'm gonna try and make him proud. So I'm really excited. But I got to make the number, what it is. I got to represent him. So.
Right.
And
All right.
the team. So.
Thank you, Pat. You said it pretty well. The slot backs is the deepest position, and we are going deep. How deep are we going at this point?
Yeah, we're pretty deep. I mean, we've lost some guys, and we prepare for it, but it's hard. Obviously, guys are starters for a reason. Guys are backups for a reason. Guys are, we have a pecking order for a reason. But it is what it is. It's football. Guys get hurt. You got to play.
All right. We know that Gawley and Bonner are out.
Yes, sir.
Dyson's questionable, hopes to play. Who could we see? Who needs to step up? Who are we talking about? Obviously, Calvin is a guy that's got experience. We know what he can do. But who are we talking about beyond that? Jamal Daniel?
Kendrick Mouton, John Brown. They're all going to play. They got to play. They got to play well. So we'll have and Trey Walker. Obviously, Trey's played a lot this year, but he got banged up last week too. But he don't complain. He's going to play. He'll give everything he's got. So be interesting to see how it goes. We'll put guys out there. Guys are going to know what to do. They're going to go. They're going to play hard. So we'll just turn it loose.
Last but not least, I'm writing a story about Calvin and his father and the fact that his dad was a big Army man. And we've talked about him earlier in the year when I did the feature. But if you could just summarize his career, do you feel like Calvin has had a very fine career here at Navy?
He's had an awesome career. He's part of a senior class that won more games than any senior class in the history of the Naval Academy. That's pretty. That speaks volumes. He's played a lot. He's made a lot of big catches, a lot of big plays. We measure our guys differently than, it's not all about yards and touchdowns and catches and all that kind of stuff. It's the ultimate team sport, and he's a member, huge contributor, starter on a team that's won more games than any team in the history of the school. I think that's a pretty big deal. So that's something you could put up on your mantle, for the rest of the time, So I'm proud of him. I think he's done an unbelievable job. But this is a big stage. We'll see. He needs to play well. Expecting a lot out of him, so he's got to come ready to go.
All right, thanks, Dan. They use two quarterbacks. Bradshaw is the starter, but they will bring in the guy that you saw last year, Carter.
Right.
Do they do same things with these two guys, or do they do different packages?
Yeah, pretty much. Obviously one has some skills that the other one doesn't have back and forth, but they're both experienced quarterbacks, both excellent players, run the offense really well. So they're I don't see much difference in them.
So you're not telling your defense that if X is in, we're doing something different. The game plan remains the same for either which quarterback happens to be.
Yeah,
in.
they're still running the option and
Right.
throwing the ball. So, nothing changes.
The fullback, Davidson, he used to be a linebacker. I imagine he's a lot like some of the Navy fullbacks that used to be linebackers or vice versa. Tough, hard-nosed
Right.
kid?
Tough kid, real slippery, runs hard, falls forward all the time. He's a really good player.
So now they rank second nationally in rushing yardage, but they have had some issues with turnovers that have hurt them at times, their red zone efficiency. Jeff seemed to, when I talked to him yesterday, he didn't seem overly thrilled with he feels like it could have been better. Do you just look at the rushing number and say, this is an effective offense?
Yeah, you've got to stop their offense. I mean, hopefully we get some turnovers. Those kind of things happen, but I mean, they're going to run their offense, and we've got to stop it. So, everything in the past, all the stats, all of that stuff, you can throw it out the window when it comes to this game. I mean, this game is a game in itself. So, we're not looking at any of that stuff.
I was talking to their linebackers, and they were saying that, this game so much comes down to who runs harder, who hits harder. I mean, everyone knows what's going to happen, and either when the ball carrier meets the tackler, he gets by him, he runs through him, or he gets hit, brought down. Do you see it that way? Is it that simple?
It's just like every game, whoever plays the best wins. So, yeah, I mean, this game, we're not going to fool each other. We know what they run. They know what we run. They know what we do defensively. We know what they do defensively. So it's a little bit like that. Yeah, it's just who executes the best, and that's really what it's going to come down to. Who handles the emotions of the game the best? Who, is the most ready to play? Who will keep their eyes in the right place? I mean, it's the same thing you win every game with, but this game seems to intensify that some.
Right. All right. Thanks, Taylor.